Hi, it's T, and I am really happy to be with you here today to talk about a very timely topic, extended family visits. Now, whether the extended applies to the family or it applies to the visit or it applies to both for you, everything here is going to be really wonderful and really apply because this is sort of the season of the year, the weeks leading up to New Year's, regardless of what you celebrate or if you celebrate, are typically times where we are spending more time with extended family. And we're going to talk about a few things. The first thing is it can be so challenging. And I'm going to simplify it a little bit here. You might have challenging dynamics with many different possible relatives, cousins, whatever it is. A lot of us have challenging dynamics with our own parents. And so that's the example that I'm going to use, but you can apply that to a lot of different challenging dynamics that you may have. So I want you to think of a song that really brings you back in time, brings you back to a super fun or even a super sad moment in your life. As soon as you hear that song, it brings you right back and you feel all those feelings, whether they were sad and melancholy or whether they were super exciting and fun and just full of life. That is energetic, right? You're not really back in that time. You're not really there with the same circumstances and people and everything else. It's not back decades ago, but you feel it because the song brings you there. It's kind of the same thing. People say, like, why does this happen? Why does it happen to me? I'm so capable and competent in all the other areas of my life. Why do I feel like a bumbling idiot who can't do anything right when I go back and I'm with my parents and my siblings and whatever the extended family looks like? It's because those dynamics, that same song is getting played in the dynamics. That's how people are showing up around you. And that's the pattern that was created way back when. It's a very well known pattern. So when they do their part of the pattern, it's only natural. It's really only automatic. It's really part of your wiring to do the other part of that pattern. Now that doesn't always have to be the case, but that's another that's another set of skills and another set of work to do. We're going to work with what we have here. Okay, we struggle with that because we make it wrong. Like, why do I feel that way? Why do I just go back to the same as when I was 12 years old? We make that wrong. It's not wrong. Our opportunity, and this is the very first thing for us to do, our huge opportunity once we become aware of that dynamic, that it is a dynamic, our opportunity is to show ourselves compassion. And this is the part where, yes, we are going to take a few deep breaths. I'm going to switch the position of my legs and we're going to take 2 or 3 nice deep breaths because this is exactly what you can do when you start feeling stressed and when you start really resonating with and recognizing that dynamic that you're playing into. You can go to the bathroom, excuse yourself, whatever it is, and you can take some deep breaths. So, inhaling your belly to really inflate that puppy. And exhale. And during your family visit, you might take 5 or 10 of these breaths in the bathroom. We're only going to do one more. And you're sending those signals to your cells that you are actually safe. Survival is not at stake. You are actually safe. It's a place where you can open the door a little bit to show yourself a little bit of compassion. And you can recognize that part of yourself. You can recognize that 12-year-old you that showed up to defend you against like mom who was attacking you because your pie doesn't look perfect, or because your kid showed up with a smudge on her face, just like you always used to have, or whatever it is. But you're showing compassion to that part of you. And what you're actually doing is you are showing up to parent, to be the parent, be the leader, be the support for that part of you that got triggered, really, right? By your mom or your dad or Aunt Sally, whoever it is. So when you accept that responsibility for parenting your inner child, wow, things can get softer, right? You've softened your body, you did your breathing, you're showing compassion. Things can soften a little bit. And what happens when they soften a little bit and you step up as the support and as the parent for that part of you, you're no longer expecting someone else to parent that part of you. Do you follow me? You're no longer expecting your mom to remember that you got all your kids ready and that you showed up and that you baked all these pies, and remember to be your parent and kind of give you that recognition and that encouragement, because you're doing it for yourself. And that's not to say that your mom can't, but letting go of those expectations is something that can happen when you show up differently for yourself. And showing up differently for yourself is really important, because that's going to allow you to do something else. If you're listening to me, 99.9% chance that you have children, you are going to be able to show up differently for them. If you are parenting yourself, if you're encouraging, when I say parenting, I mean encouraging those parts of you, you're going to be able to show up to lead, to guide, to encourage, to support your own children in that environment. Whether it's your own house and everybody has come over, but when certain relatives come over, they take over. No, you are your child's parent and encourager, supporter, nurturer, guide, all of these things. And when you can show up that way for yourself, you can show up that way for them too. So I have 3 tools. Now, these aren't tools that you'll find on the Positive Discipline site. These are relational parents tools that you are going to be able to use for and with your children, and also for yourself, right? For your whole family. Number 1, the first tool, I'm going to share 3. The first tool is to clarify for them and set expectations. Now, you can actually make this pretty fun. Say you have an aunt, maybe it's your great aunt or something, who always used to just drive you crazy because as soon as she saw you, she would pinch your cheeks. What you can do is, and she never stopped, right? What you can do is you can make this into like a fun story for your kids. You can tell the story. You can say, listen, when Aunt Ellen sees you, I'm going to guess that she's going to pinch your cheeks because she always pinches cheeks of kids that she's really happy to see. She used to do it to me. And sometimes she even thinks I'm a kid, even though I'm a lot older these days. So do you think she's going to pinch my cheeks? You can make it fun, clarify whatever expectations there are. You can make it into a game like, Grandma is going to ask us to take our shoes off. So let's just be ready. Let's show her that we're ready and let's like slip them half off. We'll take our heels out of our shoes before we even knock on the door and we'll surprise her, whatever it is. But things that maybe in the past have driven you crazy and maybe they still do, but you don't have to share that part with your kids, right? You can tell them a story, you can set an expectation, and you can make it fun for them instead of annoying, drive you crazy for them. So that's my first tool for you is figure out like what can I do to diffuse my own stress, diffuse my kids' stress, and make this fun and funny. Okay, set those expectations. The second thing is for you to remember, because as the day or the evening or the visit wears on, you can find yourself getting a little more stressed, right? Find yourself having to take more of those deep breaths, and you can't spend the whole visit in the bathroom. So you're taking the deep breaths out there and you're breathing in front of people. Hot tip, you've always been breathing in front of people, it's no problem. You can do that. You can do it without ever leaving the room. It's an advanced skill, but it's a very, very good one to have. But this tool, that's not even the tool. Okay, that's a bonus. The tool is not to teach your kids during the visit. You don't want to be setting new expectations, teaching them new things, raising the bar during this visit. You are going to be a little bit stressed, and the extent to which you're not stressed, that's phenomenal. Celebrate yourself. It's just not the time to teach your kids new things. You are an awesome parent. You've taught them what you've taught them. They may forget some things that you've taught them. It's a holiday visit. It's a visit. It's a celebratory visit. Maybe it's a different kind of visit, but now's not the time to set the bar high. Now's the time to show compassion, support them, encourage them, validate them, be there for them. And I promise you, that kind of energy, not permissive, do whatever you want energy, encouraging, validating, nurturing energy, supportive energy, that will not backfire on you. That will really serve you and your child, and therefore you, because it'll help them show up a little better. It'll help them remember that you're there for them. Okay. So don't try to teach them anything new during the visit. Third, and I think final tool for this episode is remember that you know your child the best. Okay, you might not know them better than they know themselves, okay, especially if they're kind of tween and teen. Hopefully they know them, they're getting to know themselves pretty well. But as far as the adults in the household, in the house where you're visiting or that are in the house, you know them better than anyone, okay? So don't abdicate your role as their parent to your dominating father, mother, aunt, uncle. I don't care who it is. Don't abdicate because you're falling back into that, little submissive kid that you were when you were 6, maybe even 16. No, Stand for your child. You know them better than anyone else. If they have an issue that this person doesn't seem to recognize, you can be respectful, you can be compassionate, but you can also take a stand for your kid and do that. You are their advocate, okay? Do not underestimate your capabilities in that area and don't give them away. Don't ignore them. Okay, you can regroup yourself later, put all the pieces back together later if it takes every ounce of your being to take a stand to your Uncle Bob, who is this dominating, presence. That's okay. Do it for your kid, and then you can celebrate yourself after, and you can take a few deep breaths and kind of revel in that. Okay, so those are my tools for you. Clarity and setting expectations in a fun way, setting people up for success, including yourself. Not trying to teach your child anything new during that visit, kind of keeping the bar where it is, maybe even lowering it a little bit with compassion and support, and standing in your responsibility as their parent and as the adult who knows them the best. Okay. I know this is a charged topic. I know it can be so very challenging. It is really, really worth it. And I would love to hear what you've thought of these tools, how they may have helped you, how you plan to use them in the future. Please, please share with me either in Facebook, or you can send me an email at support@relationalparents.org. Until next time, sending and sharing my love with you. Bye for now.